Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! Hi everyone, I'm your host Jonathan Clarke, and I would just like to take a moment to say thank you so much to everybody who has ever subscribed to this YouTube channel from the very first video that was ever uploaded here on this YouTube channel. I promised you guys I would always come through with a Descendants or Zombies video having been uploaded to this YouTube channel every day, and I think that fulfilling your promise as a YouTube creator is one of the greatest accolades that anyone could ever achieve. It's the greatest honor of my life because I not only got to talk about Descendants of Zombies through the power of YouTube, but I had the honor given to me of meeting so many incredible fans that I felt inspired countless ways about Descendants of Zombies, because everybody has a reason as to why they feel inspired because of Descendants of Zombies. Their favorite characters, the moments that have made them fans, that they've shared together with their friends and become the best of friends because of. And I'm here to tell you guys there is nothing wrong with feeling passionate about whatever you're passionate about, mostly Descendants of Zombies, because Descendants of Zombies has gone on to captivate the world. It's gone on to take the world by storm. Its ratings and its reviews speak volumes about how far these franchises have come. No other franchises can even come close to touching the success that Descendants of Zombies has seen. It has everything to do with this unbelievable star power that the cast presents from Descendants of Zombies when you talk about Meg Donnelly and Milo Manheim, Freya Skye, Malachi Burton, Descendants fame, of course, Kylie Cantrall and Malia Baker, who have done a fabulous job carrying on the legacy of the Descendants franchise and what it's meant to countless numbers of hearts. Because everybody remembers being a fan of the original trilogy, and I get how you felt about the original trilogy. Coming into this new era of Descendants characters, many of you didn't want to accept that the times were changing. But you see, that's what's so precious about time. The thing about time is time always runs out. And the sooner that you realize and can grasp the concept of how time always runs out and we never know how much time we have to spend with the ones we love and surround ourselves with the people who have meant so much to each and every one of our individual lives. The thing about time is, because time always runs out, with time we have to change with that. And I think that fans have done a considerable effort in changing with the times and really have come to terms with accepting what Descendants of Zombies has become. And for that, I just want to say thank you so much. Because with that came an incredible amount of support and love for Kylie Cantrall and Malia Baker, and really has stood the test of time because there are more fans of Kylie Cantrall and Malia Baker than ever before. And this is precisely what I wanted to see happen for the Descendants franchise and for them. Because they deserve to be where they are right now. They deserve to be talked about, but in nice ways. I think there is no room for criticism in any conversation having anything to do with Kylie Cantrall, and I had issues with everybody's opinion about Kylie Cantrall because the thing was, there were far too many critics on YouTube who were saying the most awful things about Kylie Cantrall without even giving her a chance. To talk about someone like Kylie Cantrall, you really got to understand who Kylie Cantrall is, and you really got to understand everything she's been through and how much she has sacrificed. Both herself and her family have sacrificed for her to be in the position she's in. She's more than deserving of every accolade she's achieved, and she deserves to be very proud of herself. And every single time that I see her upload a video with her crying in it and seeing tears in her eyes, I think that's totally unacceptable because of how some critic may have felt about her from a previous performance or anything going on around her. Because I think the more happiness that Kylie Cantrall surrounds herself with, the more positive of a vibe, only good things can come from it. I think Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland is forever and always going to be something to be really excited about. And if you are somebody watching this video who is excited about Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland's upcoming premiere, then so you should be. And I think you have every reason and every right to make a prediction like the next person in line has made a prediction about Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland, because your opinion about this franchise is what matters. Your opinion is what's put Kylie Cantrall in the position she's in right now to really take over. Because Disney will never see stars like this ever again. And what I think about this is, because Disney will never see stars like this ever again, I think these are moments that we should forever and always enjoy. Moments that we should forever and always embrace. Because I think no matter who we are, we've always wanted to be a part of something special, regardless if it's the Worlds Collide Tour, regardless if it's Leg 2 of that same tour, regardless if it's Freya Skye's upcoming tour, something having to do or related to Kylie Cantrall. We've always wanted to be a part of something special, and I think Descendants of Zombies provided us with that opportunity to stand out in a crowd and to actually become noticed. Many of us had a dream of being a part of the Descendants franchise when we were younger. And I think that's a dream we've carried with us for forever because we felt inspired by these franchises and the fairy tale characters that this franchise was represented by. Characters from Alice in Wonderland, characters from Cinderella, characters that are up and coming from Princess and the Frog and Encanto, which, by the way, I'm incredibly excited about. I think that there is so much of a conversation yet to be had about Descendants and Zombies. So because there's so much of a conversation yet to be had, I think this is a conversation that never has to end, should never be over, should never see its dramatic conclusion. By the way, I love how critics say it's a dramatic conclusion for seemingly everything. I remember when Kingdom Hearts 3 was supposed to have been the dramatic conclusion of the Kingdom Hearts franchise, and now, years later, many years later, there's rumors of Kingdom Hearts 4 being in development. So I think that, no matter how many times people suggest that we're seeing a dramatic conclusion for whatever we talk about, there is never an end to a story, and there's always a new opportunity to present a new chapter, and there's always a reason to be excited about something in that foreseeable future. I'll just give you an example. Just the other day, I attended the Wicked for Good premiere, and I loved it. I have a greater appreciation for musicals. I've loved musicals all of my lifetime. Many of my friends could never understand why I had a greater appreciation for musicals. It had everything to do with how powerful the script was because of how the script was conveyed through the power of music. Because oftentimes, when the emotions are too high, they resort to music to tell the story, because the most powerful way of telling a story has always been through the power of music. That's the way it will forever and always remain. So I remember seeing the story and being so captivated by it. Ariana Grande's performance was so beautiful. I would go back and see it a second, a third, a fourth, a fifth time over and have no regrets. I would have no regrets looking back on my past. So people are already predicting Wicked for Good 3 is going to be happening. So, I approve of that because I think that way too many people close the book on a story way too soon and far too soon without even giving it a chance. I think Descendants and Zombies is something that has allowed us to dream, has made us realize that our dreams are that much closer to us than ever before. And I think Descendants and Zombies has allowed us to take a chance on something at least once for our lifetime. So because we've taken a chance on Descendants and Zombies, I think every child is entitled to believe something in the future for Descendants and Zombies. We may not know what that future has in store, and that's what's so scary about the future, is that we never know what's in store. It's like the old analogy that you're never afraid of the dark, you're just afraid of what you can't see. So right now we have a lot of unanswered questions about Descendants and Zombies, and that's what's so scary about it, because that's why so many people have been led to believe that this story is over. After Descendants 5, Wicked Wonderland sees its premiere, will we ever get to a point where we'll see Descendants 6? Most certainly I think we'll get to a point where we'll see Descendants 6. What it comes down to is how much you believe in it. Because if you really have a greater appreciation for fairy tale characters, you should know that there are so many fairy tale characters that may have seen their introduction and their significance in the Descendants franchise. But there are still so many characters that have yet to see their introduction into this franchise. I spoke on Aladdin and Jasmine so many times on this show, and a lot of that had to do with how I was the biggest fan of Aladdin years ago. I had every version of Aladdin you could think of, from Aladdin to Aladdin and the Return of Jafar, eventually Aladdin and the King of Thieves, where they got married. I love that franchise so much. And I've often thought about how, what if Aladdin and Jasmine were a part of this story? That's a movie in its own right, because you can go an hour and a half on just Aladdin and Jasmine. It's an easy 90-minute production, having something to do with the Descendants franchise. And they could offer so much with the significance of the magic lamp and the magic carpet and the Cave of Wonders. I, for one, would love to see Red and Chloe pay a visit to the Cave of Wonders and disturb its slumber, because that's so legendary, and it would be such an iconic moment to see it, or see them visit Atlantica from the Little Mermaid franchise, and what kind of significance it would play, especially with how mermaids now are seeing their introduction in Zombies 5. For those of you who haven't already realized that or figured that out, mermaids are going to be dropping in Zombies 5, and I do expect a lot of criticism to be thrown the way of Zombies 5, but I think more of a chance needs to be shown to the Zombies franchise, because we're embarking on a new franchise now with new characters as the leads. Malachi Burton and Freya Skye look fabulous together, and I don't think we can go a day without talking about them. And I think we can't go a day without talking about your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars, which is the reason behind why we'll do it all over again tomorrow. Because I think the more love and support that we show for Descendants of Zombies, the better off the future is going to be. And I wish more YouTube creators would present every video and approach every video with that same incentive. That's what's made me your voice of Descendants of Zombies. And to be honest with each and every one of you, I've never felt more honored to have that accolade bestowed upon me, because with that accolade comes a lot of responsibility. Because you've always got to think about the person watching your video. That girl who loves Descendants of Zombies so much and giving her what she wants. Because that's all that's ever mattered to her, was a future for Descendants of Zombies. And all she's ever wanted to do is believe in that future. Because all I've ever wanted to do is support that future and give you more of a reason than ever before, unlike anyone ever has, to believe in that future. Because the more that you believe that Descendants 5, Descendants 6, and so on into that foreseeable future is going to happen, that's what matters. Because your belief in these franchises is what allows you to outshine any amount of critic that your favorite stars have been victims of for forever. Your favorite franchises may have seen. Because you guys are what makes Descendants of Zombies exist. You are the reason behind all the profound success that Descendants of Zombies has seen, why Ruby Rose Turner was a part of a brief moment in history that we will never ever forget, and why she became my favorite Descendants character of all time, because I believe there is never enough conversation happening about Ruby Rose Turner with how much of a desire and a passion she's always had for playing Rapunzel in Disney's live-action Tangled. For the life of me, I don't know why that conversation keeps revolving around the same 3 or 4 people to play Rapunzel, like Dove Cameron and Sabrina Carpenter. I guess it has everything to do with her being the niece of Nancy Cartwright from Simpsons fame in that era. I think that there are a lot of celebrities that always end up in these conversations time and time again, and my issue with that is, my underlying issue with this is, it's the same 3 or 4 celebrities that always come up in conversations. Ariana Grande, Taylor Swift. There are so many people that you hear about time and time again, and as a result of that, the celebrities who should be shown the spotlight and be given a chance to shine are never given more opportunities than they're deserving of. Because I've seen Kylie Cantrall, I may be just saying this because I'm the biggest Kylie Cantrall fan in the world, and I've achieved so much rarity for being a Kylie Cantrall fan because I've supported things like her YouTube show, every venture she's ever been a part of, from Gabby Dern and the Unsittables, Raven's Home, and all these reoccurring roles, where Disney was really trying to come into its own and introduce us to Kylie Cantrall, and she did take advantage of every opportunity. Very rarely do you see a girl who's sprinkled everywhere on Disney Channel take advantage of opportunities. But Kylie Cantrall was that one person who was able to do it, and do it so phenomenally well. She was very acceptant of every role that Disney stuck her with, because we never knew what Kylie Cantrall was going to ever amount to. And I think she exceeded all of my expectations. I think she exceeded the expectations of every critic she may have ever had, because she's seen her fair share of criticism. I think she's explained enough about the gap in her teeth, her political point of view, her relationship status, things she should have never had to offer explanations for. She's really been put on the spot and really become the subject of every conversation in everybody's lives. And I think as a result of that, she's gained more popularity and more fan support than ever before, because they realize and they understand what she's gone through. The only regret that I have as the host of this show is that I couldn't help Kylie Cantrall make sense of her own life. And the only hope that I've ever had to seem to have is that Kylie Cantrall would see at least one of my videos, to let Kylie Cantrall know that everything is going to be okay, and she's just doing just such a fabulous job bringing all these characters that she's represented so phenomenally to life. She's really come off as a true inspiration, and if there's anything that she's going to take away from her time spent with the Disney company, is that she achieved so much rarity for just how iconic she really was. Because every moment that Kylie Cantrall was ever a part of, she made so special, and she made each and every one of us feel as if we were a part of something special. Because I can't lie, or I'll never deny, that Descendants of Zombies made me feel accepted. Descendants of Zombies really took a show that I had created and turned it into something special for everybody who ever was a fan of Descendants of Zombies. Now, 15 years ago, when I was on the radio and I was on YouTube providing you with commentaries and journalistic integrity, did I ever think that I'd be sitting in front of this camera every night for the rest of my life talking about zombie invasions and characters from Descendants of Zombies? Most certainly I didn't, but that's how it came to be for me, because you guys saw something special in this show which was obviously very apparent, and you turned it into something far more special than I ever imagined that it would be. And for that I just simply want to say thank you so much, because I know how much criticism Descendants of Zombies was faced with, and because I've been a fan of everything Disney has presented us with, every concept, every character, every moment of significance, I've always wanted to represent things like Descendants of Zombies with a certain degree of passion and pride, because until you see that coming from somebody in a video, then the greater appreciation of Descendants of Zombies is far from being showcased. Because you just don't have to have the Descendants of Zombies merchandise and the posters as part of your backdrop for every video that you upload to convince people that you're a fan of Descendants of Zombies, about how you felt let down because of the Worlds Collide tour not living up to your expectations. So many people posted so many videos about how they felt let down, about how the Worlds Collide tour didn't live up to their criteria, and I get that. But the thing was, there was a 7-year-old girl in that crowd that felt like it was the best time of her life, and it was a moment that she was never ever going to forget. So don't you ever think about her watching your video and how she feels about Descendants of Zombies? Shout out to every critic. Because I think if you approach every video with that same degree of passion and pride that that 7-year-old girl took to the Worlds Collide tour, that's what makes uploading these videos worth it every single time. All I've ever wanted to do is come off as a true inspiration to everybody. All I've ever wanted to do is be a part of something special. And forgive me, Descendants of Zombies allowed me the opportunity to be a part of everybody's life as something special. That one voice that everybody could trust in when it came to a prediction having been made about Descendants of Zombies. Because far too many critics have an opinion when it comes to Kylie Cantrall, have always and forever had an opinion when it comes to Malia Baker. And I think these critics really need to back off and really realize the criteria and the work ethic and the heart and dedication that always and forever existed in our hearts for Descendants of Zombies. I think that there are so many fans out there that are never given enough credit for how much respect and how much dedication and heart they put behind these franchises, how invested they've become in these franchises, because everybody has felt as if they were part of something special because of Descendants of Zombies. And that's why it's such a huge honor for me to be able to collaborate so many fabulous videos about how I feel about Descendants of Zombies. There are countless moments that I've been a fan of because of Descendants of Zombies. The moment that Zed and Addison met each other in the zombie safe zone, when they realized they had gotten to a moment where they wanted nothing more than to spend the rest of their lives together for the rest of their lives. When the first moment ever when Red and Chloe became friends, and how they had to deal with the consequences of time travel, and they have yet to experience it in Descendants Biblical Wonderland. I feel really intrigued by this plot, and I feel really important to this franchise, because the thing is, I think we've all felt as if we're a part of something special for a very long time. It's been an incredible decade of moments that we have shared in together, and moments that I have never felt more honored to be a part of with each and every one of you. Because the reality of this is, I could be streaming video games tonight or talking about a movie or a TV show that I was a fan of. But if I could choose one niche to always and forever provide commentary for, it would have to be Descendants of Zombies. Because you guys have forever and always been supportive of every video that I've ever uploaded from the very beginning on this YouTube channel. And that's why I've forever and always been so appreciative of every moment that I've had to share in with each and every one of you, that I got to experience with each and every one of you. The movie premieres that I attend, next week I'll be attending Zootopia 2, which I'm really excited about. Many of my friends are going to be in Zootopia 2. Dwayne Johnson, CM Punk. I believe CM Punk is going to be the voice of a fox, and I believe Roman Reigns is going to be in this one too. It's a star-studded cast, and you know something, guys? I've always wanted to be a part of projects like Zootopia 2 and Descendants of Zombies, the reanimated series, because I know that Disney Channel is always airing distributed episodes of the Zombies reanimated series. Because I've always had a greater appreciation for how you can take a concept that seems so inadequate and really bring it to life. And it's all about how much heart and dedication you bring to the set of things like an animated TV series, a live-action franchise like Descendants of Zombies. I know how people have always referred to it as a live-action Harry Potter musical or a version of Wicked. For those of you who don't know, a member of the Wicked cast was actually a part of the Descendants franchise. I believe one of the writers and producers was also on board for something having to do with Descendants from Wicked. The thing is, there's a greater appreciation to be had for this kind of thing, and I have never felt more honored to be a part of this because of each and every one of you. Because you guys saw something special in your favorite characters and all the moments that made you a fan of Descendants of Zombies, and that's what's made this such a huge honor for me. Every video that I've ever uploaded, I've shown a greater appreciation for things like Descendants of Zombies, because I know, and I've come to terms with how moments like these only happen once for every lifetime, and it's all about how we seize these moments. Because Disney is never going to come knocking on our doors and present us with the opportunity to be a commentator or to be an actor or an actress. We have to go out there and we have to make Disney notice us for how we feel about something and how passionate we are about things. And that's what makes these videos so special for me, is because I know that each time I upload a video, I have a chance of reaching a global audience. So I may never know how many views each video is going to get. I may never know how each video is going to be received or responded to in the comments, or how many likes I'm going to receive. But I know that there's somebody out there who's watching this video because they just simply love Descendants of Zombies, and they want to hear a breakdown, they want to hear an analogy, and they want to hear somebody's point of view on Descendants of Zombies for what it's worth. Unfortunately, because of these ridiculous reaction videos that are uploaded, especially about zombies, have any of you seen some of these ridiculous reaction videos about zombies? More recently, the Snow Angels music video reaction. I think these videos are totally ridiculous, and the reason why you can't hear any commentaries about Descendants of Zombies, these are the first of their kind, because nobody knows how to commentate on Descendants of Zombies like I have. And I've taken great pride and showcased a lot of passion in providing you with commentaries, because I've known how to do it all of my lifetime, because all I've ever wanted to do is be a part of something special. And each and every one of you have allowed me that opportunity, and you've allowed me to become your voice of Descendants of Zombies in a time where a voice of Descendants of Zombies has forever and always been needed. Because I think that you guys have forever and always wanted a Descendants of Zombies podcast that was dedicated to offering you predictions and theories on how far Descendants of Zombies has come and how far it is yet to go. Because when you talk about this new franchise, with the Zombies franchise, with this new cast, I think their futures and their stars have never shined brighter in any constellation that we could spend so much time talking about. And I'll upload more Zombies videos tomorrow. I'll upload some more Descendants videos thrown in there too. Because I think that this conversation should never have to be over. And I think that everybody's opinion when it comes to Descendants of Zombies is what matters. Mostly, and most notably, the opinions of the fans who have made Descendants of Zombies such a phenomenal success. Because it is truly unparalleled to anything that I've ever experienced in my entire life when it comes to the profound success that Descendants of Zombies has seen. A rating of 6.4, having said that though, a rating of 6.4 for Descendants on Rotten Tomatoes really doesn't tell me a whole lot about how passionate people feel about Descendants of Zombies. You know what tells me how passionate everybody feels about Descendants of Zombies is? When a girl collects her favorite doll from the Descendants franchise and forever and always has held that doll as a memory of being a fan of Descendants of Zombies because she attended the Worlds Collide tour. The reality of life is a 7-year-old girl could tell me how she feels about Descendants of Zombies and how passionate she is about it before a critic ever could. Because all a critic ever wants is a reaction out of everybody who's a fan of Descendants of Zombies. And if they can make you cry because of their opinion about Descendants of Zombies, how Zombies 5 will never happen, then that's exactly what they want. And each time you give them their reactions they forever and always search for and seek, then they achieve their goal. But each time you outshine every critic, and you feel the way you do about Descendants of Zombies, which is very passionate, and you showcase your passion for things like the dolls and the Worlds Collide tour, that's what makes moments like these all worth it in the end. And moments that I wish I could experience all over again, because I too feel very passionate, and I've forever and always been on your side. And I think there's nothing wrong with being a fan of Descendants of Zombies, because if we're going to talk about Descendants of Zombies, then that's what we should do, is we should talk about it while giving people hope for a foreseeable future, because there is hope for a foreseeable future, especially when it comes to Zombies 5. For those of you wondering when Zombies 5 is going to happen, there is no official release date or no official word on when Zombies 5 is going to happen up to this point. But that doesn't mean that Zombies 5 is not going to happen. Let me shut down every critic that says that Zombies 5 should never happen, should never be in the mind of any fan of the Zombies franchise, because it should be. And if you believe Zombies 5 is going to happen, I know the release window is really ridiculous, not suggesting a release up until 2028. That feels like forever away. I think we're never going to get to that point. But even if that means that I have to upload videos for the rest of my life about Descendants of Zombies up until Zombies 5 happens, okay, I'm cool with that. Because I've proudly said that I've dedicated the rest of my life to uploading videos for you guys, because you feel very passionate about whatever it is you feel passionate about. Obviously, Descendants of Zombies. You know, there are millions of people who feel very passionate about Descendants of Zombies just like you. There are 600,000 people alone on YouTube every night wanting to watch the best Descendants of Zombies videos they can possibly watch. Unfortunately for them, they can't find it because nobody knows how to offer you commentaries and points of view and can break it down like I can. But lucky for you guys, you found this YouTube channel tonight, and you have something that you can trust in and for once in your lifetime believe in. And I have each and every one of you to thank because of that. whoever you are, wherever you are watching this video out in the world tonight, just know there is hope for the foreseeable future for Descendants and Zombies 5 will happen. And if it's all right with you, I would love to be your voice of Descendants and Zombies heading into that foreseeable future. While we may never know what the future has in store, that's what's so exciting about being a fan of Descendants and Zombies, is that we may never know what's coming next. While predictions about mermaids and sirens and witches will forever be made, I'm just excited to be a part of that foreseeable future with each and every one of you, and because of each and every one of you. Thank you so much for having watched this video, taking a chance on this YouTube channel when you really didn't have to, because you're the reason behind Descendants and Zombies' profound success and will continue to be into that foreseeable future. I'm your voice of Descendants and Zombies. I'm Jonathan Clarke. It's an honor to meet you if you're a first-time viewer of these videos. If you have not subscribed, you're probably going to want to think about doing that, because I would love to have you as a part of this incredible journey and a part of my legacy, because undeniably, for the love and support I receive for every video, I will go down in history in due time for being one of the greatest of all time, but it would have never happened if not for because of each and every one of you. So from my heart to yours, thank you so much for having watched this video and showcasing your passions along with mine for Descendants and Zombies, because we're in this together, and Descendants and Zombies will forever and always remain a part of our lives, no matter how anybody feels about it. Descendants and Zombies will go down in history for being some of the greatest franchises of all time, because I'm here to see it through with each and every one of you. Thank you so much for having watched this video, because life is that much sweeter when all of us are. Stay calm and zombie on, everybody, into that foreseeable future, because indeed there is one when we talk about Zombies 5 and a future for that franchise, and I'm just excited to be a part of it with each and every one of you.